And I know we're in New Hampshire today, but I want to talk about two people in South Carolina who ended up endorsing Donald Trump, and that's South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who is from South Carolina. How devastating is this to Nikki Haley, and will this have an impact at all tonight?
There's a sense of inevitability sometimes, Brittany, that kind of seeps into a race. And that seems to be in play here. It's not just momentum, it's the inevitability that Donald Trump will be the nominee of the Republican Party in 2024. It just seems to be all but a done deal. So Tim Scott from her home state, remember, she appointed Tim Scott to the U.S. Senate, Nikki Haley did. For him to jump and endorse Trump as he has, of course, Vivek has endorsed Trump. I can tell you in my home state of Florida, everyone, since Ron DeSantis has pulled out, it seems like everybody has cascaded into the Trump camp. I think this is all, it's like a tsunami that's coming at Nikki Haley right now. And I don't think that the voters in New Hampshire, regardless of their verdict tonight, can really stand in the way of that.
Why do you think this tsunami is coming for Nikki Haley? Because before this, people have said, Republicans and Democrats alike, hey, we're done with the chaos. We're done with Donald Trump's a chaos agent. He's indicted, this, that, and the other. But now they're lining up to kiss the ring. Lest we not forget, Donald Trump called Ron DeSantis de-sanctimonious. Ron DeSantis gave him a little bit more than a lukewarm endorsement. But why is everyone now lining up to kiss the ring of a president, if he is elected again, will be a lame duck president?
To preserve their options for the future. That's a short answer. Ron DeSantis is in his mid-40s. He's done a hell of a job as governor of Florida. He's got a long track ahead of him, and maybe a good track if he preserves those options, as opposed to he burns the bridges behind him. I think the same thing is now in play for Nikki Haley, which is why I predicted earlier in this conversation, if she doesn't come close or beat the president, look at this as the Super Bowl. For Donald Trump, it's all in. And if he wins, I think the Super Bowl would have crowned the champion, the Republican nomination. Nikki has to make a decision, Brittany, about whether she wants to pursue political options, especially on the Republican side of the fence, moving forward. She may not. She may have actually other plans. She may consider a third party run downstream if she finds there's no way back to the Republican faithful. But I think she's at the tipping point right now. Her rhetoric has gotten sharper against the former president. I can assure you that it hasn't gone down well with Donald Trump or any of his supporters or the MAGA base. So I think it's Judgment Day, not biblically, but politically. Judgment Day is here for Nikki Haley, and that judgment, I think, is to be seen tonight in and beyond Manchester.
Do you see a future where Nikki Haley is welcome back to the MAGA fold? Because if you look at Donald Trump's Instagram, I don't know if you saw this photoshopped photo, but it's Hillary Clinton with Nikki Haley's face superimposed on her. Is that the nail in the coffin for her political career for the far right?
It's hard to say. It's fascinating we're even having this conversation because Nikki Haley, by her record, her actions, not just the UN, but obviously as governor of South Carolina, was a conservative Republican, is a conservative Republican. And yet, in this race, she certainly is being forced into a place she never thought she'd be, allied with Hillary Clinton, the moderate, woke, and liberal, part of America. None of her record justifies that, but the rhetoric and the conversation in this campaign has reinforced that.